Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a prolific audio engineer. He is musician, music producer, writer, and he has podcasts and online courses. He's a genius of the music, Bobby Owsinski. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah.
Thank you, Arnold. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's an honor. I feel gratitude to be here with you. And I know that you have worked in the studio with The Who, Iron Maiden, the Ramones, Chicago, and many others. Is that true?
Partially. I didn't work in the studio with them. I worked on projects for them. I did surround mixes for DVDs for them. But most of them weren't in the studio while I was doing it. So I didn't work directly with them.
Yeah. So as a musician, do you write songs also, or you just play music?
I did. I wrote a lot when I was younger. Not so much anymore.
Okay. I read that you help people to reach their goals and in music industry and have programs and webinars for those people. Is that right?
Yes, I've been doing online courses for quite a while, about 10 years, and webinars for probably at least that long. And I've been talking at colleges all over the world for quite a long time as well. So, yes.
Great. You know what, Bobby, this time, well, nowadays we need all that information because a lot of people doesn't know how to achieve their goals in music business, music industry, you know, engineers, producers, musicians. I know a lot of talented people that they don't know what to do. Sometimes they are just at home, just like a hobby. Do you know that kind of people that they don't know how to do with their talents? What can you tell them as advice to them?
A lot of musicians will create their project, and then when it's finished, they'll decide, well, now what do I do with it? Now it's time to sell it. But it's too late by then. The time you begin creating is the time you have to begin marketing as well. So you have to think of all this well in advance anymore in order to take advantage of it, or else it will take too long until you actually get the product out. So it's something that has to be thought of well in advance.
And what do you think about these street performers or singers or musicians that work at the street? Because, you know, there are a lot of talented people that I have seen through the years. And do you feel good for them? Or do you think they should have been doing in that talent in another place, with another people?
Musicians are resourceful, and they'll go wherever they can find people to play for and hopefully make some money doing it. So doing it on the street is just another way of doing that. So for some, it's easier than others to do. But I certainly have no problem with it. I have to say that there's some fantastic musicians out there doing it, but it doesn't matter where you do it as long as you have people that like what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? I ask you this because I always thought that I will never do that in my whole life, going to in the street and playing because I play the guitar, and I always thought that I never liked that kind of job because I prefer theaters or other kind of stages. But I know that there are millions, I don't know if millions, but I think there are millions of people that do this kind of job in the streets, and they really need to be heard, and also really need the money. It's a job also. But you are a privileged guy. You are, I don't know how to say this in English. You have the privilege of working in a studio, and also doing the things that I suppose that you love. How important is love and passion for doing what you do for you?
Well, it's being in the music industry is not an easy job. So you have to love it. And if you don't, you leave it and you go someplace else, do something else. Even if you do love it, many times you're forced to do that because you just can't make enough money in the business. So I've been lucky enough to be able to work in many different parts of the music business during my career as a player, in the studio as an engineer and as a producer, writing about it, interfacing with manufacturers, working with the manufacturer. So I've seen it from a lot of different angles. And again, everybody that's doing it loves what they're doing, or they wouldn't be doing it. They'd be doing something else. But you
Yeah,
have to. The business is difficult enough that you have to love it, or else you're not going to stay in it.
yeah. And if you have, Bobby, if you have you have to have a choice just to pick just one of the things you do, just for a reason, just pick one. For example, audio engineer or musician or producer or writer. What will be the one of your choice? What would you pick? Because you are multi-talented. So what do you prefer?
There isn't one, and that's why I do a lot of different things. I have a short attention span, as many of us do. So I work on things that excite me at the moment, and then I move to something else, and then
It's a
eventually I
hard
come back to it.
question.
Yes,
It's a
yes.
hard question. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to ask hard questions. Another hard question that I suppose that will be for you. Do you have a favorite artist or singer or band?
Well, in terms of what's out there now, I really love what Bruno Mars does.
Oh, yeah,
I, Charlie Puth, I like a lot. There's a lot of great music that's out there right now. So I'm not one that looks back at the past. I certainly like, you know, music from my youth, but there's lots of great music that's happening now. I
yeah,
never, be- I never believed that music was better or worse at any particular time. It's different and it changes with the time.
yeah,
Uh, Most people's tastes don't change, though.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It's good to hear that from you because I know a lot of people that prefer just the oldies music, the 50s, the 60s, or just jazz or rock and roll. They miss all that music that many bands are not creating at the moment because music is changing a lot. I can explain, I don't understand why there are not many bands that play this kind of music. There are few, but we are lost in that kind of elements, melodies and rhythms from the past. But anyway, is there something that you wanted to do, Bobby, but you never did?
That's a great question. No, I don't believe so. I've done most of the things. I would have liked to have won a Grammy. I haven't won one yet.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
that would have been
but I
nice.
can, but Bobby, I can imagine that it's part of your room at the moment, and I can see it in the background beside that bass that it's on the wall, and it's yours. The Grammy is yours, my friend.
No, well, no,
So
I've been in the running for Grammys, but I haven't won one. But one of my best friends has won 18 of them. So
what's his
I
name?
Benny Facconi.
Oh yeah, you know what? Benny worked for Marco Antonio Solis. He's Mexican,
Yes.
and I know all the guys from his band. You know, the bass player, the keyboard player, the guitar. You know, the drummer. All that people are from Morelia, and now I am here in Morelia. Michoacan, Mexico. So all, Benny, I knew about him because of one of his musicians.
Well, we were just talking about that the other night. We had dinner together, and we were talking about his experience down there. So he quite
Oh,
liked it.
great.
Yeah.
I think he's very professional. Yeah.
Oh, Benny's great. He's one of my oldest friends. Even in the business, we go way back, and so we're still tight. So it's good.
Yeah. And another question, it's how important is for you good sense of humor for your work? It's part of your job, or it never had to be with good sense of humor? Because a lot of people change, they have different behavior, they have different humors, but my question is, how important is sense of humor for you, for your work and your life?
I think that most people in the music business that really do well are the ones that have a good sense of humor, or at least are easy to get along with.
Yeah.
If that isn't the case, you usually don't work too much in the business. And
Yeah.
I know great, very talented people, musicians, engineers, producers that may have a hit, but then still don't work too much afterwards because they're no fun to be around.
Yeah.
So the ones that are the most fun to be around are the ones that keep on working forever and ever.
Yeah. I ask you this because on my way now in my life, I changed my attitude more positive than ever. I am more, I like to laugh a lot. I love animals. I love nature. I love people. I like to do many things, and I laugh more than ever. That's why I ask you this. And I changed my life because I have a different attitude, Bobby, to my life, and I enjoy it more. And when I am this way, I I work better, and it works better for me.
Yeah.
So I remember one day that I read an interview with that Paul McCartney talked about the sessions with Michael Jackson for Say 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 and The Girl Is Mine. And I remember that he said that he had a very nice time. They enjoy a lot and they have a lot of fun. And I thought, oh my God, do they work or do they have fun? It's something that I can't explain one day, one thing with another, but it could go together one with the other.
Well, work should be fun.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
way I look at it is every day, I have a tremendous workload every day, but I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, well, this is one more thing that's going to be fun. I can't wait to get to it today.
Yeah. Yeah. And another question, have you been to Mexico? I am in Mexico. Do you have you ever worked with Mexicans or with Latinos?
Yes. I haven't been there for work. I've been there a number of times, but not for work. Um, I have worked uh, with Latin artists, with Latin players more than anything. And I've always enjoyed the sense of rhythm that Latin players have in general.
Yeah.
That seems to be better than what we have. In many cases, I mean, there's just a built-in sense of rhythm that feels better, and maybe because everybody dances more.
Oh yeah. And there are a lot of beautiful Latina girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's true. Yes.
The bodies, it's well, that's another topic. So another question is, um, I know that you help people to reach their goals in music because you give advice, you are very professional. But the question is, what is your advice for these new generations that would like to reach their goals, but they don't know how to do it because they don't have enough money, or they don't have enough education, or what is your advice for them? Because there are millions of talented musicians, singers, bands, but they would like to reach their goals. What is your advice for them?
Well, nobody has enough knowledge or enough money when they're first starting. So everybody starts the same.
Yeah.
So that's never a big differentiator between, if you're going to be successful or not. What I've found is during my career, the people that have made a really good living and have done well are the ones that have just stuck at it no matter what. And obviously the ones that are really, they're helpful to other people, they're fun to be around, but no matter what, they're going to stick at it no matter how good or bad things are. So everyone that's stuck with it has done okay, and it's just a matter of doing it. So you have to just decide, I'm going to do this no matter what. I'm going to be successful no matter what. And then learn as much as you can and meet as many people as you can. And also keep in touch with those people. That's the difficult part. You have to stay in touch with the people that you meet, because those are the ones that are going to help you be successful later.
Oh yeah, I like that. I read, because you are in I remember that you are in Wikipedia also, that encyclopedia online, I think.
Yeah.
And it said that well, you have a lot of contacts since you were very young, and learning, doing many things, and contacts in the business. So I think the important contacts are very important for your career. If you don't keep in touch with these important people, it's I think it's part of the game. Are the same people are I don't know how to say this, well, in a good level, professionals, and to help you also. Have you ever had a guru for your career, or I mean, how do you say this in English? A mentor?
Well, not one, but there's been many. I've gotten advice from many people, especially some of the older ones. Some have just recently passed, but uh, there's no one piece of advice. Well, there's one piece of advice that only applies to Los Angeles that I could pass on. It doesn't matter anywhere else, but it does here. When I first moved here, I was driving an old beat up car, and the person I was talking to took me aside, who was in the business for a long, long time, took me aside and said, in Los Angeles, you are what you drive.
You,
Meaning that people think if you're driving a nicer car, people think you're more successful, and then you're going to get more business.
yeah.
After that, I went and I bought a pretty new car that looked a lot better. And I don't know if it helped me get more successful, but did become successful. But I always remember that. I don't think that applies anywhere else except Los Angeles, though.
Yeah. And you think success has to be with money, or is something independent?
Well, it's certainly not money from the standpoint that once you have enough, then that's not all that makes you happy about living. Um,
Yeah.
what's enough? Well, enough is that you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it coming in. You don't have to worry about paying your bills. And sometimes it takes a long time to get to that point. And I know I've went through that myself for too long, where you're worried about how you're going to pay your next bill or rent or car payment or whatever. But once you get past that, you find out that just having more money doesn't mean you're happier. It just means you have more money. And many times it means there's more problems as a result. That's an old cliche, more money, more problems, but and it's hard to understand if you don't have enough.
Oh
I
yeah,
get that as
yeah.
but the thing about it is you reach a certain point and you go, well, if I had $10,000 more, it wouldn't make me a lot happier. Or if I had $1 million more, it wouldn't make me more happy. So you find out that after that comfort level of getting some money, then having more doesn't really matter. What does matter is if you have family and friends, and a lot of them. It matters if you can experience new things in life all the time rather than buy things. You find that experiences are more important to you. So that that ultimately is
Yeah,
what happens. I think.
yeah. I like it, and well, I think money is absolutely important in this life, but there could be many problems with them, and we could have worse problems if we don't have it.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah,
No, it's no fun not to have enough money, and there's no question that is not fun.
yeah.
It it just makes your life very, very miserable and difficult to so, I've been there, I understand, I know what it's like. It's not a good place to be.
Oh yeah, me too. I've been there, and I know it's horrible. It's part of the suffering in life when we don't have anything. It's important for everything, for having meal, for having everything. So anyway, we are privileged. You have the privilege and the to work in what you love. There are a lot of people in the world, unfortunately, that work in jobs that they don't like it. But I love my job. You, Bobby, you love your work, your job, and I suppose that you are very grateful to life for doing what you do. What can you say to all that people that hate their works?
Well, people work at jobs that they don't want to many times because they're forced to, that you want to support your family, so you do things that you don't want in order to support them. And it's very difficult to give someone the advice and say, "Follow your heart and do what you love," when you can't do it. That's not the case.
Yeah, it's
So,
hard. It's
I
really hard.
yeah, I don't know what to tell people like that, to be honest with you, except that hopefully providing for your family makes you feel good enough to make it all worthwhile.
Yeah. Uh, are you public speaker, Bobby?
Yes, I speak at a lot of colleges.
Oh, great. And do you like to speak in public? It's part of your life too.
It is. I do less of it than I used to. Of course, COVID last year stopped a lot of that, but for a while, I won't say it was a full-time job, but it was a job where I spent a lot of time on the road. A couple weeks out of the month, going different places. I don't do that as much anymore, but I will. What I like to do is if I take a vacation, I'll have some speaking engagements on either side of the vacation. So that takes care of a lot of that. And now with Zoom, I'm speaking a lot on Zoom.
Yeah. When do you come to Mexico, my friend?
Well, last time I was there, I guess I was in Cozumel a few years ago.
Oh, great.
Last
I
time,
never been there, but I have seen some few pictures, and I think it's beautiful. My parents,
favorite
when
place.
they got married, they went on a honeymoon to Cozumel.
Yes, I do quite like it there. I think I've been there 4 or 5 times. I
Wow.
like it. Yeah.
Great.
Another Costa Maya I've been to several times.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's right across the border from Los Angeles. I've been several times in Ensenada, places like that, tourist places.
Yeah. Okay, Bobby. And one last thing or advice that you would like to share with my audience in Mexico?
Well, I guess the best advice is like what I said before. If you love something, keep doing it. Learn as much as you can about it. Keep doing it as much as you can. But remember, it's also a business. In order to keep doing what you're doing, you have to make money at it. So learn the business side as well as the creative side, because that's the key to keeping you doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. Do what you love, my friend. It's a pleasure and honor to talk here with you. It's been great, and I hope you keep continuing, enjoying your job, enjoying life with more energy, with more life and happiness for you and your family. And thank you very much for this great interview, Bobby.
Thank you for having me, Arnold.
I'm very grateful. Thank you. See you soon.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.